Hello and welcome to episode 1 of Cards, Coffee, and Conversation. I am one of your hosts, Justin, aka The Flexerton, and this is my co-host,
Eric, aka local MTG legend, aka Professor Chubb.
Is there a third?
No.
I feel like there's a third. No, maybe there isn't a
Well, I'll
third.
tell you.
Well,
Boy,
I
what.
used to say aka, boy, I'll tell you what, because he just says that all the time.
Yep.
So basically, guys, this is going to be a podcast about TCG games, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, TCG investing, what's going on in the world of the TCG, the metas, and just sharing our love and passion for all things trading card games. So we should probably introduce ourselves a little bit. My background started with the Pokemon TCG, more so the collecting part of it. But I've just been enamored in love with the game and with the overall franchise since I was a young child. It's kind of bounced between Magic the Gathering and Pokemon throughout the years. I feel like most people, as I got into my teenage years, Pokemon wasn't cool anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Magic the Gathering, which is maybe a little more adult-centric, if you will.
Yeah.
And flowed with that, and now with the way COVID hit and Pokemon just boomed, I couldn't help but boom with it. So here we are. We're back. We're diving in, buying cards, shooting a podcast. I have a YouTube channel, Flexerton on YouTube. What about you?
Well, so when I first started playing card games, I think it all started like back when I was in elementary school. This kid on the playground, he's like, yo, check out these cards. And I was like, what are those? And he's like, they're Yu-Gi-Oh cards. It's like a new TV show. And I was hooked instantly. So, I had my parents, buy me some packs. And eventually I got playing Pokemon. Played that for a while. Into high school and college, I played Yu-Gi-Oh competitively. Went to YCS's, regionals, whatnot. As I transitioned out of college, my buddies didn't really play. They played Pokemon and Magic. So kind of transitioned over to Magic, stopped playing Pokemon for a real long time. And recently with the big boom in Pokemon, I've kind of picked it back up and kind of fell in love. And here we are talking about it with you guys.
Right? So guys, there's a lot of big things that have been happening with the Pokemon, or with TCG world in general. We have Chilling Reign that just launched for Pokemon. We have Modern Horizons 2 that just popped off in a huge way. I think, honestly, it just revalidated, Modern as a format. Yeah. Yep. I honestly put no thought, no mention really into Modern. It's been Commander until now. This is the man for MTG. I won't try and say that I have as much MTG knowledge as this man. So how do you feel about Modern Horizons 2 thus far? And what are maybe some of the cards that you thought people would look forward to and yourself looked forward to getting in this set?
So I think first I thought Modern Horizons 2 was going to be a big reprint set. So, and I think it kind of has been in a way. So we've got like the Fetch Land reprints. We've also got Urza Lord High Artificer. What are a couple other ones? Can't think of any off the top of my head. I know they've printed that new sword.
Cabal Coffers.
Yeah, Cabal Coffers was a big reprint.
Yeah.
A bunch of good like mana-based reprints. But there's also some new cards that were printed in there that were really good as well. Ignoble Hierarch. Ragavan.
Can I stop you?
Yeah.
Is that how you say that? I'm not going to lie, guys. I obviously, like any good host would, I did a little research before we started this. And I was seeing the top 10, top 20 cards from Modern Horizons 2, and I just want to get a little information so I don't sound like a big dum-dum for you all. Is it Ignoble?
Ignoble Hierarch,
Because I'm Ignit.
well, there was the original Noble Hierarch that was
right.
Bant. It was green, white, and blue it tapped for, and it would cost 1 green. And now the Ignoble Hierarch, which taps for one of the Jund colors,
right.
which is black, green, or red. So it's maybe they do more in the future, but as of now, I'm pretty excited that we got another one.
Yeah.
And it's not nearly as expensive as Noble Hierarch, so we've got that going for us.
Right. Now, honorable mention for me, obviously, you know what I'm going to say here, right?
Yeah, I know exactly
what we're going to talk a little bit about Chatterfang and all my squirrel gang out there in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I love tribal. And now this is going to segue into another point here, but I just want to focus on Chatterfang here. He is the squirrel commander that every squirrel loving MTG player has been asking for forever. You don't agree?
I'm not saying I don't agree. I think that Chatterfang has come a long way in what we needed to for to see that movement towards some more tribal decks. Like, I mean, we've got like Merfolk, we've got goblins, and now we've actually got like a legitimate squirrel commander. I mean, it's just a good step forward for squirrels, especially not only in Commander, but in Modern. We're also seeing Chatterfang being played quite a bit in an upcoming deck that you might see top some events in the near future.
I was going to ask you, is it? I've heard of it. We've talked of it. I'm personally not a big Modern player. I probably will get into it some here in the future. But is Chatterfang actually going to be a competitive deck?
So from what I've seen, I think it's got a lot of good cards that it could be viable. Now, we'll see what happens with it in the future. You know, things are being changed every day. We see a lot of adaptations to the meta. A lot of times these rogue decks can, come out and just sweep events, and it's not unheard of. Not even just in Magic and a lot of different card games. When you're not expecting the unexpected, it's when it hits you the worst. So
right,
you never know. Anything could happen.
Okay. So I did jot down a little note here, Eric. As I opened up that collector's box with you, and I seen a lot of the set. I've looked at a lot of the set on the line. Again, as a non-modern player, historically, it feels like a Commander set in disguise.
Yeah, so I think something that WotC has really done pretty well recently is they understand that one of their biggest formats is Commander. So a lot of their customer base is going to be Commander players. So a lot of the stuff that they gear toward is going to be Commander stuff, whether it's Modern Horizons 2 or it's Commander Legends that just came out this past year. A lot of the stuff, whether we know it or not, is geared towards Commander, just because it's basically the biggest format that everybody plays.
Yeah.
So they've got to do something about it.
Yeah, and I mean, no fault to them. I know there's a lot of YouTubers, a lot of online personalities that definitely give WotC a lot of hate and heat, but they're just running a business, guys. If they didn't do things the way that they do things, I mean, to an extent, the game would have just fizzled out and we wouldn't even have Magic anymore, at least not at the level we do. So I get it. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. But with WotC being a financial giant in the TCG world, I really want to talk about the prices. And what really, really, really made me realize this is when we were opening that collector's booster box for Modern Horizons 2, which this man struck absolute gold. Probably the best box out there. What did you break? 1,000, 1,100 on the box?
Yeah, well, that's with 15 cards.
Yeah,
we broke over $1,000.
We're not even counting the lesser cards in there, where $2 to $5, $1 to $5. Absolutely crazy. But in valuing those cards and scanning them onto the TCG or the TCG Player app, there's so many cards, $50, $100, $200 plus nowadays. I remember when a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, we were really playing Commander hot and heavy. We were all buying cards, new decks constantly.
Yep.
It was expensive, but it wasn't absurd. You know, I mean, you're going to spend money buying 100 cards regardless, but that's where the money comes into play, is buying that many cards. Now, I personally could not really afford to play Commander or Modern at a competitive level.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the card game, Magic the Gathering in particular, is getting too expensive for your average player, your average Joe, to play the game.
Well, right now, with the way that the economy is and everything just going absolutely bonkers as far as pricing, you're seeing a lot of cards go up in price, and you're seeing sealed product also go up in price, which makes it a lot harder for these newer players to even come anywhere close to these guys that have been playing for years and already have most of the stuff. Where, you know, these new cards come out, if they're Commander players, they got to pick up one of this, they got to pick up another one of that, and then their deck is completely updated. Where these Modern players, if a new player tries to play Modern, if they need to pick up a new card for their deck, they probably have to pick up 4. And if it's a $70 card, they have to drop almost $300 just to update their deck for the new set that just came out. So, I mean, Magic is an expensive game, and it's definitely not for one that has a lot of dust in their wallet, to say it lightly.
I agree. Now, I don't know. So for me, that's kind of a big deal. Like, I love playing the card games. Obviously, you know, I'm a big Pokemon financial guy. I enjoy the collecting side and the investing side of Pokemon just as much. But for Magic is purely a game that I enjoy playing. I've never really had a thought of doing it and for anything financially based. So that kind of hits me a little bit. Like, I don't foresee a point in the future where stuff is going to crash so far where we're back to a point where we were. And I really think that's going to put a big burden on it in the future. I'm not talking about anytime soon. WotC is doing, they're great. They're putting gas on a fire constantly. You know, they're doing a great job there. People are buying the sets. But I think the only way to level this back out is reprint.
Well, I mean, we see a lot of reprints all the time now with the Secret Lair series that we have now. So we get a lot of reprints, and it doesn't really drive the price down as much as you would think it does.
So my problem with that is what you just said. Secret Lair. Secret Lair is,
it's essentially a whale product.
Yeah, it has this big shiny new glamorous product, and it accompanies the old product rather than they're more like on even playing fields. You have your flexi version, you have your regular version. They're always going to be here. But if you reprinted a version that's like the original, really and no different, or maybe even more basic than the original, just a card meant for playing, that would drive prices down.
Yeah, well, I think it hasn't really been something that WotC's implemented before. I know like Yu-Gi-Oh has done something like that, where they, in their tins, like the new cards that, like, when they go drive up in price, like Rescue Rabbit, just for example, like when it was $120, $130 in Secret Rare out of the newest set, shortly after, they reprinted it in Super Rare as a promo in one of the tins. So everybody had one, and Rescue Rabbit was super cheap thereafter. But, you know, it wasn't going to last for long anyway, just because of the nature of the game that Yu-Gi-Oh is. But I would like to see Magic implement something like that to really help the newer player base, because even with the flexier versions of cards, they're still going to be higher priced because they're the original. It's the way that it is in almost every single card game I've ever played. You have just for example, the Urza Lord High Artificer. I got the retro foil reprint in Modern Horizons 2, and the foil original print from Modern Horizons 1 is still more expensive. even though I would say in reality that the retro art would be a flexier version of me, because it's we've not seen that card like that before. But even it got a normal print in Modern Horizons 2 as well. But the original one from Modern Horizons 1 is still more expensive.
So I guess, you brought up an interesting point there. And as you said, the retro art is the flexi version to you.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that is also a way that it could be done, is just maybe over time we will get so many variations and reprints that flexi gets to become more of a subjective term for that particular card.
Yeah.
And maybe prices will level out just because of that. I like the thought of that, and that's intriguing. And I've lost my thought of train.
Well, honestly, if you look at it this way, you got like cards like Primeval Titan. So you've got your Secret Lair print, and then you have your retro frame print from the Time Spiral Remastered. They're both flexi, right? It's just which one would you want more?
Right.
And they have different, price ranges. So whichever one is more appealing to you, buy it. Who cares? They all play the same.
That's true. I feel pretty good about Modern Horizons 2. I think we've covered it pretty well.
Yeah.
Let's get into Pokemon's Chilling Reign drop.
Mm-hmm.
Just happened June 18th.
Yep.
Fresh off the printers. How do you feel about this set?
I think Chilling Reign has really brought a lot to the table. So you don't have, so you've got your collectible cards, and you also have your playable cards. So with these past couple sets, Battle Styles, Chilling Reign, you've got your alternate art. That's for the collectors. You've got your normal art, and those are for the players. Because the players, you don't want to be putting your $95 Urshifu VMAX Rapid Strike in a sleeve and, bending it all to, 10 Ways to Sunday, playing it. You want to keep it in a binder or in a top loader or whatever you choose to do. But Chilling Reign has brought a lot to the table as far as playable cards. We've got Path of the Peak. We've got Ice Rider and Shadow Rider Calyrex VMAX. And we've got a lot of good alternate art collector cards. I think most of the Vs and VMAXs have their alternate art or full art and their secret rare or hyper rare versions. So we've got a lot for both sides. If you're an investor or if you're a player, Chilling Reign's got something for you, and I really like that.
I agree. On the investment side, again, this isn't investment advice. I'm not telling you what is and what isn't. I don't feel like Chilling Reign is going to be a fantastic long-term set just based off what I've seen in the past. But that doesn't change it from being a fantastic set regardless.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really, really into the alternate art cards that they've been bringing out in these sets. And to my knowledge, now granted, guys, I've been, again, I explained, in and out of Pokemon throughout the years, so correct me if I'm wrong. Alternate art is a fairly new thing, right?
Well, I think you've got like your normal art, and then you've got your full art. But I think we're talking about something else here. I think we're really talking about those, like the Tyranitar V from last set.
Mm-hmm.
The Slow King
Correct.
has a like way out of whack alternate art from Chilling Reign. I pulled that, so I was fortunate enough to do that. What are a couple other cards that
the Urshifus from Battle Styles?
Yeah. When you're talking about stuff like that, I think those are that's more collecting stuff. But like they've always had their full art versions for the Pokemon, just like Centiskorch V.
Yeah, full arts though, like you said, they're not the same thing. This is like, so you have your regular art that has the bottom border, then you have your full art, which kind of takes it away, expands the art for you, and now you've got a whole new category, alternate art, which full art used to be the collector version. It used to be, and then you had your hyper rare version, and also your occasionally your secret rare version of the card. But now we've just really taken it out of the park.
I think they just started doing it a couple sets ago. As far as the alternate art, I think it was just Battle Styles.
I feel like Battle Styles was the first set. I don't remember seeing it in Vivid Voltage.
Yeah, I think it was just the normal and the full art version of Vivid Voltage. I don't think we got really anything like that in those anything before Battle Styles.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, definitely a win for the collectors with Pokemon doing that. So let's pause there. We're going to go on a break, and we'll be right back.
But yeah, I mean, definitely excited to see where Chilling Reign takes the game. I definitely think it's a good set. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see where it takes us.
I am too. It's not a conversation we're going to have now, probably on the next episode, but there's been so many cards in this set that has impacted the standard meta. It's impacted several of my favorite format for Pokemon, the expanded format. And we'll dive further into that in a later episode. But guys, on our ending note, we do have one more topic to discuss. It's one really more for the collectors, but it is super cool in the Pokemon world. If you guys have been following the Pokemon's 25th anniversary, it's kind of been a little lackluster if you ask me, but this one is huge. The Pokemon Celebrations packs set, if you will. I'm going to read an article here, Eric, to maybe shed a little bit more insight on what's going on. I'm going to read the original text from the Pokemon website. So we have celebrate some of Pokemon's greatest moments over 25 years of adventure, discovery, and friendship. The Celebrations expansion offers plenty to be excited about, including an opportunity to stroll down memory lane with classic Pokemon TCG cards. Add a joyous parade of legendary, mythical, and other beloved Pokemon to your collection, including Mew, Ho-Oh, Zamazenta, Flying Pikachu, Surfing Pikachu. Join the party with the Pokemon TCG Celebrations expansion. And here it says the Pokemon TCG Celebrations expansion includes 4 Pokemon V, 2 Pokemon VMAX, 25 classic Pokemon TCG cards, with totaling more than 45 cards. I did snapshot a few other things here. So, dang it, I don't know how to phone. Rather than being sold in individual booster packs, this special collection will only be available in special collections. A full list can be found below with thanks to blah, blah, blah. The 25 remakes include iconic cards like Umbreon, Tapu Lele GX, and even base set Charizard. Then it goes on with some dates. I'll just give a few here. Pokemon TCG Celebrations Collections, Dragapult Prime. Most of these, and all this starts on October 8th of 2021. Then the next one is Lance's Charizard V and Dark Sylveon V. A deluxe pin collection. That contains a Zacian V level, or Zacian level X. An Elite Trainer box contains a Promo Greninja, mini tins, a Pikachu V Union. I mean, there's just a Pikachu V Max card. There's so many cool collector cards in here, going all the way blast from the past. I'm super stoked about this. We've had the month by month first partner packs. Those are cool. The jumbo cards, they come with a couple of packs. But this actually feels like something that commemorates the 25th anniversary and Pokemon's history.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly didn't know much about it. I saw a video of Tricky Gems. Big shout out to Tricky Gem. Love your work. But I saw one of his videos. He was talking a little bit about it. But a lot of those cards, just hearing you say those, like brings a tear to my eye. Those are a lot of cool cards. I'm excited to see a lot of those come out. I'd love to add them to the collection. You know, it's super awesome.
Right. I have a promo binder that I started. You've seen my binder that I've started that keeps on my cool cards for the game, but I also have a promo binder. Promos are near and dear to my heart. I think those as a kid were always the coolest cards, and that's kind of where I feel like this falls. Is more promo. They're available to everyone. It's not really a true set. It's not part of the meta. It's not part of the game. So therefore, it's a promo. Let's be honest. And that was one of the coolest things as a kid. I know you all love this. If you're a 90s kid or even early 2000s, you loved putting your cards in binders. And that's just, I did it earlier with all my trainer cards, and it was an absolute joy. I got lost in time, and it just helped me reminisce and remind me of just being a kid and just when everything was simpler. And that's what I think Pokemon is good at and why it's been so successful for the last 25 years.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have been able to keep connected with Pokemon, and it's one of the reasons that it's been as big as it has been. I mean, it's just everybody played it when I was a kid. I know everybody had Pokemon when I was in school, and just about everybody still has their Pokemon stuff from when we were kids.
Yeah. If there's one good thing that COVID did, it reinvigorated Pokemon, and all the 90s kids, all the early 2000s kids who really grew up with Pokemon. It's completely reinvigorated. Everyone's back into it. Everyone's talking about it. All my friend group is either collecting or playing or both, and it's a great time, and I hope you're all enjoying it as well. But this is about all the time we got for tonight, guys. Thank you for joining us on episode 1 of Cards, Coffee, and Conversation. I am your boy Flexerton.
And your boy, local MTG legend, a.k.a. Professor Joe.
We'll see you on the next episode, guys. Have a good one.